If you love Jamaica, if you love your country, share this video. Greetings once more, Jamaica, the diaspora, and the world, in the powerful name of God Almighty. I am the Great Defender, aka XYZ. It is another day that we have a chance to sway some of the minds of our fellow Jamaicans home and abroad. It is another day that we grasp this opportunity to call upon our people to be transformed by the renewing of the mind. We cannot all be reborn, but we can all renew our minds and become a better version of ourselves every day. We are all co-owners of one of the most beautiful countries anywhere on the planet. You go to Jamaica and you see the lush green vegetation, the beautiful people, the wonderful sunshine, the most beautiful beaches anywhere in the world. You name it, Jamaica has it. The problem we have is with the minds of some of our people. Money alone cannot solve Jamaica's problems. We first need to attack the mind of the people because that is where most of the problem lies. The chains that chain the brains. Our minds are chained, and therefore we see the slavish behavior of many of our populace. And when I say slavish behavior, slavish to the wrong cause, slavish to crime. And many, you can safely say, many Jamaicans have become slaves of crime, slaves to crime. Crime has become their master. They long to do crime. They are loyal to criminal activities, and they'll get up and go out on a daily basis to commit crime as if they're going to a job. And this has to do with the mindset of the people. Not everyone is like that, but the fact that we have a vast amount of our population that has become slaves to crime, there is a serious problem. And it comes back to leadership. These minds have not been harnessed. These minds have not been conditioned to be free men and women. These minds are chained to the immediate wants of the day. They are tied to a post like a donkey is tied to a tree. The minds of many of our people are impoverished, are literally wearing handcuffs or chains. And that is where we have to redeem the mind of the people to have a better country. Money alone cannot fix Jamaica. It is the mind of the people, the mindset of the people, the culture that the people are choosing to adopt and practice. That is where most of the problems are. You go to poor countries in Africa or Asia where they don't have the material things as many of our Jamaicans. They don't have access to them. But there's not the amount of murder and robbery and other crimes that take place in Jamaica. So it stands to reason that poverty is not the cause of crime. It is the mindset of the people. The acidity of the dancehall is one of the places where the minds of our youngsters have become tarnished. Their minds are being chained to the desire and lust for criminal activities, the desire to be as evil as can be rather than be as good as can be. The lectures they receive through the kind of music has a whole lot to do with what we see going on in the country. Another factor is that at a very early age, the minds were not conditioned in the schools to come out into society as good citizens. They were taught to pass the history exams. They were taught to pass the mathematics exams. They were taught to pass geography. You name the different subjects. Yes, they were taught to pass those exams, but they were not taught to be good citizens. They were not taught to be good neighbors. They were not taught to be their brother's keepers. The parenting standard in Jamaica has dropped significantly, and the parents also have a lot to do with the way the country has spiraled out of control. Parents that cheer on their children in their crimes. Parents that refuse to correct their children when they are wrong. And parents that have their children believe that everyone who doesn't agree with them dislike them. So the poor parenting skills of our country, of our people, have been bearing fruits, and we see those fruits in the way our youngsters are operating these days. I want to say to all youngsters, when you were born, you were designed to live above 70 years of age. God designed you to live to an average of about 75 years and above. And when you throw away the possibilities that those 75 years could bring you, you have thrown away everything. When you decide to be a criminal or join a gang, you have thrown away the joy of seeing your children grow up. You have thrown away the unmeasurable joy of seeing your grandchildren born and grow up. You have thrown away anything that you could have accomplished had you stayed alive and stayed a law-abiding citizen. Guns, gangs, and drugs are not working. It has not helped our country. It might help a few people financially, but money is not everything. And the man who believes that money is everything will do anything for money, including murder. What we need is a renewed mindset. Once the government can come up with an antidote to the dancehall lectures, an antidote to that culture which breeds and festers criminal desires, criminal intents, then there will be a tremendous change in the country. It might sound off to a lot of you, but believe you me, there's power in the spoken word. And so government must now reculture most of the people, must now begin to find the antidote to that which is infecting the minds of our people, to find ways of removing the chains from the minds of our people. You have become slaves to crime, a lot of us. We must find a better way to move our country forward. You look around and you see the foreigners come in Jamaica, and they're owning everything. And the locals are contented to settle for a little extortion. that they'll give you gladly because they know they own everything. The crumbs is what the locals are settling for. That cannot make you into productive men and women. The minds have to be conditioned towards being productive. And there must be ventures in place that you can pursue, avenues that you can pursue that will bring you a formidable future and not contentment of settling for crumbs. A lot of people will disagree with me, but they disagreed with Marcus Garvey, and he was right. A lot of people will disagree with me. Many did not agree with Bob Marley, but he was right. A lot of people will disagree with me, as they did to Martin Luther King. They disagreed with him, a lot of them, but at the end of the day, he turned out to be right. So a lot of the people that have spoken out are bashed. People will attempt to intimidate you. But at the same time, we have a country to save. And so it is incumbent upon every Jamaican, home and abroad, who live in the developed countries and who are seeing things in a different light, to shine your light so that others can see and come along. It is our jobs to begin to reculture our people, because government won't do it. But the people must begin to want different leadership, new leadership, leadership with moral uprightness, that they can now begin to harness their own future and shape their own destiny, because the government has failed miserably to condition the mind of the people. You look at Singapore, the people there are very productive. Taiwan, these are countries that were literally born the same time as Jamaica. Singapore and Jamaica, we got independence around about the same era. And they have moved ahead. Their young people are astonishingly productive. And we in Jamaica are too contented with crumbs. It is time we elevate the thinking of our people so that our people can be on par with the people from Singapore, China, Japan. We are no less capable. We are just as capable as them. So it is those who know better will begin to relate to the populace what must be done to move a country forward. It begins with the minds of the people. That's as simple as that. It's be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. With these words, I rest my case for now. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word so it can be heard. Thank you, and God bless you.